Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be spending 100 hours of fun in Valencia, Spain. Valencia is located on the eastern coast of Spain with about 300 days of sunshine every year. As you see here on the map, it's about 2 hours from Madrid, and you can get there with the bullet trains from Madrid to Valencia. Our first place to visit is the Mercat Central, the Central Farmers Market. It was built in 1928. It's an absolutely gorgeous building, 80,000 square feet, and probably one of the largest markets that I've ever been to in my travels. As you go around through the market, you can find everything from fresh meats and vegetables and fruits, and they have a huge section dedicated solely to fish. One of the most impressive bits is the cupola. Beautifully tiled with curved glass windows near the top, an absolute sight. Oranges were only about 20 cents a pound. In some markets now you can still find them for about 40 cents a pound. There's an incredible cheese selection, and the real specialty in Spain is going to be the jamón ibérico, or the bellota. These are acorn-fed pigs that produce this type of ham, similar to prosciutto, and it's just lovely. The Playa de Patacona Beach. There are several beaches in Valencia, the Malvarosa Beach, and just north of it, technically outside the city limits, is the Patacona Beach, and it's usually a little bit less crowded, and the restaurants here are actually a little bit better than the very touristy ones down on the southern end of Malvarosa Beach. The City of Arts and Sciences is probably the most impressive architectural work anywhere that I've seen. It's a collection of buildings. This is the Science and Technology Museum. There's a movie house, an opera house, even a planetarium inside that small one there. There are a lot of different opinions on what this looks like or should be, but I always think it's like a beluga whale chasing another fish. And it's even more impressive at night. We were here just around Christmas, and everything was lit up, and it was beautiful with the reflecting pools. In the back, there's also the blue clam-shaped building, and that usually holds different seasonal exhibits, and behind that is the Oceanographic, which is basically the SeaWorld of Valencia. This is just a 10-15 minute walk from the center of town, and it's a must-see. I'm actually incredibly lucky because every time I go to Valencia, good friends of mine cook for us. They have an outdoor kitchen with a propane setup, a brick stove top here, set up just for cooking paella. And as you can see, it looks absolutely amazing. It's one of the things you just have to eat when you're in Valencia. There are so many places. Everyone has their favorite. My favorite's actually down in Denia at Casa Federico. So if you're ever down that way, near Valencia, maybe an hour south, stop in and try theirs. But pretty much anywhere you go, it's going to be great. Again, my one advice would be to stay away from the very touristy places at the southern end of Malvarosa Beach. And if you want to know more about where the rice comes from, just southeast of Valencia are the Alboraya rice paddies, and you can get there with a bus or if you have a car that you've rented. And it's incredible to see these fields. In the winter, they're flooded with water before the rice gets planted. Very interesting. Moving on, we have the Cathedral of Valencia. This is a beautiful building. Construction started in the 13th century, and there were multiple expansions over time. It sits on the site of a church that goes back even several centuries before that, and at different times during the Moorish occupation, it was also used as a mosque. There is a $9 entrance fee, but if you go on Sunday, you can easily participate in Mass. Moving on to a few seasonal things, the Fallas de Valencia. It's coming up in the middle of March, and it's something akin to the Rose Parade or Chinese New Year. It's a combination of the most beautifully handcrafted paper mache statuettes and just beautiful things. And sadly, all of them are then burned at the end of the season. But if you don't get to Valencia in time to see this, there is a museum right across the street from the Museum of Arts and Sciences where copies of all of these paper mache figures and statuettes are kept so that you can see the full history of the event. Now, some of the other things that I really like about Valencia, and I did a video which you can see here, it's the Cabanyal Market. Cabanyal being a neighborhood close to the ocean, just east of town. There's a subway that'll take you out there, or some of the buses. The 31 bus will get you out close to that. And it's just another one of the really great farmers markets in Valencia. There's another one in Rusafa that's also worth visiting, but I really prefer this one. And right across the street is a place called Bar Cabanyal that has some of the best seafood you'll ever eat. And finally today, if you need a workout, the Turia River Park, as you can see here, it extends through the whole city. It's where the river used to go, the Turia. And with all the flooding that they had, and this year was no exception, at some point they decided that they were going to reroute the river away from the center and turn this riverbed into a park. It's incredibly long and quite wide, and it's filled with soccer fields and playgrounds and running trails and cycling trails and a few cafes, and it's really worth a visit. So that's it for today. You've seen all the top sites in Valencia. If you're there for just 3 or 4 days, hope you use this guide as a measure of what to see and enjoy your trip. Take care, and we'll see you next time.